Welcome to the MuseCast, where we squeeze every last drop of inspiration out of Sunday's sermon.
Perfectly clear.
That's how the professionals do it. They'd go 5, 4, like that. That's how they do it. Okay. I don't. They have strong neck muscles.
They do like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
well,
right.
Hey, happy Muse Day.
Happy Muse Day.
What a glorious day it is. What you drinking there, Dan? Some iced coffee?
Hot coffee.
Oh, thank God.
It's hot. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. It's a little hot coffee with a little almond milk in there, and
nice.
Really good.
I too am drinking hot coffee, just black, nothing in it, nothing added,
amazing.
just straight up. Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
I say this, and my parents probably hate it, but I say like that's one of the greatest things they ever taught me. And so when I was in high school, I thought I wanna start drinking coffee so I can stay up late to study and stuff. And they're like, yeah, okay, Shawna, any hoozy doozy. If you do start drinking coffee, you don't put anything in it. Just drink it black, because if you start by putting stuff in it, then you'll always be looking for something to put in it. And for the rest of your life, you'll be one of those people that needs certain something in their coffee.
Right.
Just we drink her black. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So good.
You were led down the righteous path. I was tossed in a wilderness where I had to fend for myself. And
milk and honey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Hey, well, listen, I can't help but notice you got a little buddy there.
Yeah.
Little buddy there on your jacket.
Yeah. And I thought you knew about this.
I don't.
Really? Well, first of all, let me just say I'll probably have to take this off because now I'm getting a little warm, but it was cold in here this morning. So I've got layers on. But this coat I got from Barbara's kind of stepdad passed away about a year ago. And he had several coats. And so Barbara's mom asked me if I wanted them. And these are like the greatest coats. I have 3 of them that I got from Tom. And they are so comfy and they fit just perfect. However, the downside is that this coat was an NRA coat, and so it said NRA here, and I did wear it to church once, and I got some looks, and I realized,
sure you did.
I realized, maybe an Anabaptist nonviolent church is not the place to be wearing an NRA coat. So I got a black patch, and then I got a little astronaut patch. And so that covers it up. And I tell you, it matches because it's orange and it's got the little orange up here. And it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Yeah.
You are a fashion icon. You are a pacifist. You are a great representative of all the good things.
Fashion is my life. That's what I've always said.
If there's one thing Dan says,
that's right.
Fashion is my life. That's fantastic. Well, I love it. I prefer the cutie little buddy astronaut over the NRA.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Oh, goodness. Well, what a happy Muse Day it is for us. We are glad to be here with you all today. Thank you for tuning in. And we get to talk about, I was about to forget my own title of my sermon.
Oh, no.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
But I got it.
More coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Let me hold on. The chase is on.
The chase is on. Yes. Well, I'll tell you, this is a great sermon. Before I do the summary, I loved it. I thought it was a great sermon.
Thank you.
Let's see. Where are my notes? Here they are. Yes. So I'm going to do a summary on The Chase is On. And I have to say this. I say it every time, but it's probably annoying. It's so weird when you're actually here and I'm doing a summary on your sermon.
I know.
I'm just going to pretend like you're not here. I'm going to just say Shawna gave a great sermon this weekend called The Chase is On. And we are in this series called Dragon Slayers, where we're looking at chapters 12 and 13 of the book of Revelation. And this is sort of I think it's the nadir is at the bottom of something. And this is sort of the bottom of the book of Revelation. And then now we start the glorious ascent to Christ's victory and the joy and the unicorns and the rainbows. So, but we're now at the bottom, and this is sort of like this big moment in the text. And so what you're looking at is you're looking at Revelation 12, verses 12 to 17. And there's some strange imagery here where you have this kind of mythical woman who is giving birth to this child, and this dragon is waiting to devour the child. But as soon as the child is born, the child gets swept up into heaven, and this irritates the dragon, who then goes after the woman, and God protects the woman in this place prepared for her in the wilderness, and then the dragon goes after the children. And a few things about this that I thought was really well done is that just this idea that what the dragon, the only reason why the dragon was here to begin with is because there was this war in heaven that Greg has talked about. And the dragon, or Satan, was hurled down to earth. And so that's why he's here to begin with, because the thing that he couldn't accomplish in heaven, he's trying to accomplish on earth. And so he goes after this woman who is basically a representation of God's people. And but he has a hard time, because whoever this enemy is going after, God is going to protect, and God protects his people. And so there's some resistance there. But there is still this struggle between this dragon and God's people. And so there's this time of tribulation, and some of the language that's used there is that this river of water comes out of the dragon's mouth. And this water throughout the scripture has been kind of used as an analogy or a metaphor for chaos and destruction and so forth. And in this case, it's that, but it's sort of like this persecution and this rageful persecution towards God's people, and really, what's going on here is that Satan was hurled down from heaven. Satan has been defeated, and these are sort of the desperate tantruming of this dragon who has lost this warfare that he engaged, that he started, and really the kind of classic analogy that you use is he's kind of running around like with a chicken with his head cut off, which always makes me sad for chickens.
Makes me so sad.
Yeah, moment of silence. But yeah, so what's going on here is that you have one party who has lost the war, who is making all of these desperate last attempts to do as much damage as he can before the end. But he has lost, and that's sort of important. And some of the analogies that we've used here is that it's kind of like, on D-Day is when World War II was won, but it wasn't official until a year later at V-Day. And then you shared a really good one that I'd never thought of, is the Emancipation Proclamation happened. And it wasn't until 2 years later that some parts of Texas became aware of that. And so even though they were legally free, they did not experience that for a couple years later. Funny how some of those messages take a little longer to transfer than others. Yes. So that's the situation. And so then the question is so there's this already not yet. And so we're in that phase. We're in this already not yet phase. And so what do we do in this phase? And well, we have a call. We have expectations. And so you looked at 1 Peter 5, 8 to 11, where great passage where Peter just tells us what we're to kind of do during this time. We're to be clear-headed, because the whole goal of the dragon is to confuse us and to muddle our brains. Basically, we're to remain alert, because the serpent, the Satan, the enemy, is very crafty, and we are to listen to the truth, because there are so many lies that the enemy is roaring in our faces. And then finally, and this was my favorite nugget from 1 Peter 5, is just this, to remain close to those who are with God, because if you are alone, that's who the lion is going to go after. The lion's not going to go after the sheep that are close to the shepherd. And in light of all of this, we are to stand firm, because the battle has already been won. We just have to endure till V-Day, basically, till Victory Day. And then at the end, you just kind of summarized this by saying that we're still called to actively participate in God's kingdom, even though that kingdom is disrupted by this tantruming dragon. And this tantruming dragon is doing all that he can to suppress what God wants to do with his people. And so we have to ask ourselves, who are we listening to in our day-to-day life? Are we listening to what God is saying about us and about the world and about the future? Or are we listening to all the scary lies that we hear that are the basically the propaganda of this enemy dragon? And then you closed with a Psalm 46 prayer, which I thought was fantastic. And that also closes up chapter 12 of Revelation. And if any of the teaching pastors wanted to do a sermon on chapter 12, too late. It's done now. Too late. We're moving on to 13.
Too bad, so sad.
When we do a series of a book of the Bible, we don't mess around. We get through it that. We just burn through it. That's right. All of a sudden, it's going to be done. That's right. All of a sudden, it's going to be done. You're going to be like, did we do a series on Revelation? Right? Wait, it was so quick.
What just happened?
Yes. So, great, Shawna. Great sermon, Shawna. And did I miss anything really big in that?
No. No. I'm trying to think. No. Great job, Dan Kent. Have you noticed, because other people have, that, and I don't want it to, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because I don't want people to feel like you and I aren't buds. But I will always say Dan Kent. I never just say Dan. I always say your first and last name.
Yeah.
And that is not because we don't know each other. It's kind of like my little nickname for you. Mm-hmm. It's just to call you by your full government name without your middle name.
Yeah. Right. Well, technically it's Daniel Kent is the full name, but I prefer Dan. I do. Yeah. I prefer Dan Kent. So Daniel is. And
we have a Daniel on staff, and I can't listen. Yeah. I cannot be getting y'all too confused.
That's
too
right.
Much.
Yeah. See, and with Daniel, I feel like I'm underdressed for Daniel. So with Dan, I've got fashion freedom.
That's right.
So right.
And that is the goal. That is the goal.
That's correct.
Well, thank you, Dan Kent. This sermon, closing out chapter 12, was an interesting time. It was an interesting experience because literally, you were there. Our team is there, and they're like, we need some hope. We need some encouragement. And they look, and everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, wait, hope from me? Because have you seen the text that I get to go through? Oh, goodness. But, and let me just say, I am well aware that we have members of our church, people, a part of our church community, our church body, parishioners, who come from a variety of church backgrounds, some of which include a more charismatic church background. So you say spiritual warfare, and it can mean a whole host of stuff. Right. And so you're always kind of coming against some of that. And so you just have to kind of put all of that to the side, the concern for not coming across as hopeful, the expectation of some who maybe have an idea of spiritual warfare, the skepticism of others who are like, come on, can't see it, feel it, touch it. It doesn't make sense, and I get all of it, right? I get all of it. But you have to kind of put all that aside and just kind of lean into, okay, what is bubbling up? I think this is one of your phrases. What is bubbling up at you from the text? And so as I just prayerfully was going in that vein, I really did begin to get encouraged, oddly enough, by it. And what helped was to not, don't read into chapter 13 yet. Yeah, I know. Uh-oh. Have fun, bud. But so I did start to see hope bubbling up, and I just began, and you and I have talked about this several times on the MuseCast, I just began to get so frustrated at the enemy and at the things and the powers and just the situations where we are just getting played and we are just being lied to and we're just believing these lies in a variety of ways. And so I think that helped fuel my passion to declare that the enemy is a dirty dog liar and we have overcome and we do have the victory without sounding Pollyanna, like it's all going to be good and glory, because there's real suffering. And even in the last week, there were just real situations that were coming up and it was just like, wow, we are in a battle, and not just like personally, but like from folks within the community and just losses happening and job insecurity and food. Like it's a mess. And so, at least for me, it helps to remember that this illusion of power that the enemy has is not going to be able to continue forever. Yeah. But instead of just waiting for sweet glory, we have an active role to play. And that's why I feel like I'm going long. I apologize. Oh, that's why I love when we are able to highlight certain other things going on in the church body, like the food shelf team and dressing up in costumes just to bring some joy to folks. Like that was so cool. And the arts group and their things and just all the ways in which we get to just shine light. I just feel like it's important to be out loud about those things, because the darkness can seem like it's roaring. And so any way that we can push back, I just think is a good way to fight. So
yeah, no, I think that's right. And it's interesting because like for me, like I understand why people are saying, it's so dark, it's so this and that. But I just, the whole thing inspires me. It does. I mean, I read it and I get a charge out of Revelation, and it gets a little tedious, and sometimes it's the same charge.
A bit repetitive.
A bit, yeah. So, but I love it. But I'll also say that I also come from the spiritual warfare skeptic camp. That was a hard thing to say. So I totally empathize with that as well. Even like reading through my sermon, I'm just like, do I believe that? I know. Do I really believe that? And they're not typical beliefs that this culture kind of nurtures in people. These are you have to find these beliefs, and that doesn't mean that they're wrong, because I happen to think that they're right. But like I tell you, it's like for me a big part of my conviction about the book of Revelation has to do with the spiritual warfare claims, and because it just explains so much of the way we see what we see in the world. We have really good reason. So let me say it this way. Part of my skepticism is that I don't feel like I've got all of this convicting evidence for the existence of Satan and demons and things like that.
Sure.
But I do have really strong evidence for the existence of God. And I've got really strong evidence that Jesus was God on earth and that he lived and died and was resurrected. I have that I feel like evidentially, logically sound in that belief. But the problem is as convincing as those beliefs are, it creates a huge logical dilemma when you look at the state of the world. And so, like, how do you explain that? Well, the text explains it with this spiritual warfare claim, and that solves the problem. And so, to me, because of my trust in the scripture, I trust that they're right about this. And it just so happens that also solves this huge logical problem between what we know about God and what we see in the world. And so for me, I eat this stuff up. I love it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it was fascinating to really just start from the basis of, okay, I believe this to be true. I believe in this battle in a realm that we cannot see, but that it clearly has implications on what we do see and feel. And so What? Okay. And so now what?
Right.
What about it?
Yeah.
And so I could have very easily and appropriately used the passages about putting on the armor of God, let's say, and talking about
Hmm.
the way we fight back. And that
Yeah.
would have been true. But there was something about the First Peter 5 passage and
Hmm.
bringing in that roaring lion
Yeah.
that just really, I don't know, it captured it for me. It just like really illustrated, um,
Yeah.
just this powerful being that is just loud and bombastic and is clever and strategic, and to take that seriously.
Hmm.
On the other hand, though, I don't want to like give him too much credit. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like, ooh, you know what I mean? But do do I'm going to say respect for the reality of let's just go with the lion imagery and getting people isolated and attacking the isolated first, and just all of that. I just really felt, I don't know, it just really spoke to me, so I
Hmm.
went with that.
Well, I thought it was a great passage because his prescriptions, I think, are perfect for what we've been talking about with Revelation, to be clear-headed in light of this great deceiver. I mean, that's the perfect prescription. If we are being deceived by this powerful force, well, we need to maintain that clear-headedness and the alertness, because a lion is sneaky. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen like these pictures where people will be jolly walking along in the on a jungle safari, and all of a sudden, blah, this lion will jump out from the tall grass, and no one knew that it was there, and
Yeah.
so you have to always be alert, and so yeah, and to remain close to those who are
Hmm.
pursuing the truth. That is, I mean, I don't know of any like serial killers or extremists who have done horrible things who had a robust network of friends. They're almost always, that isolation, it makes us so vulnerable,
Yeah.
and being able to rest in fellowship, I think, is it does something to our psyches, to our
Yeah.
spirits. It secures us, and keeps us on solid ground. And I just think that, and the analogy of the lion going after the isolated sheep is just so perfect too. So
Yeah. Well, and also, and had I had all the time in the world, I would have loved to have camped out just on that piece a bit, because I was even thinking back to the garden, and when the serpent came to Eve, she was alone.
yeah.
Did God really say, right? Like he didn't
Right,
come
right.
to them together in
Yeah.
when they were in a unified front. She was
Mm.
alone.
Yeah.
And I just there's just something about that isolation, and trust me, I say that as someone, now I am extroverted, but I like being home.
Yeah. Oh,
I like being in
yeah.
my space and just
Me
chilling
too.
out,
Yeah.
and I enjoy my bed. I
Yeah.
enjoy my rest, So
Yeah.
I get like wanting to like hunker down, and I get that. But man, we can't, if that's like your vibe, you can't stay there because it is
Yeah.
so dangerous. So
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
I
I did
think
not see any questions. So,
no,
yeah.
I didn't either. I was just going to say the only other thing that in that part about the lion and just the roaring, because I've never encountered one outside of a caged environment, but I have heard that the roar is so loud and bombastic that is paralyzing. Like
Mm.
it stops you in your tracks, and the fear comes on, and that's part of the strategy.
Mm.
But anyway, but also I was just thinking about today and just the lies and the whispers, and I think one of the things we're seeing in our society, in our culture, I'm just going to say in America, I'm not going to speak for the rest of the world, is just like I think that those lies and those whispers, we're turning against one another in that.
Yep.
Um, and I just think that's really dangerous. And I'm not saying we have to be besties with everyone, but man, oh man, we are just, it's just like, there's just so much,
Yeah.
ugh, is what it is,
Yeah, that's
Dan.
right.
That's a
Yes.
theological term.
Got it. Well, it took me a minute because I don't know sign language, so it took me a minute to get that. But so, I wish I knew sign language. I love
amazing,
sign language. Yeah, because it's like it's language, so I love that right away. But it's like writing with your hands. It's like this mix of like interpretive dance and judo. It's beautiful. So
same.
Yeah.
Love it. Gorgeous. Yep. Yeah. So anyway, there we go.
That was a nice aside.
It was. That was the chase is on. And yeah. And you're right. Now we just go woof, woof.
Woof. Yeah.
It's gonna be fantastic. Lucky chapter 13 coming up.
That's
right.
It's
gonna be good.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we do not yet have any questions or anything to delve into in that regard, and that is a-okay because we always know that things come up in the coming weeks, and I have a feeling, as much as we think that it's flying by, I think we'll still have some time to dig into some stuff. So that tells me. I don't know what it tells you.
I think it is time. Woo-hoo.
Nugget time. It's a very robust nugget dance.
Well, hey.
Feeling good, feeling limber. I'm going to have you nugget first. Because
okay. Let's see. What should I say?
Okay. What is rock, paper,
I can go
scissors?
first. I can go. No, I can go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
There was something I was going to say, and what was it? Oh, yeah. It was about not being isolated. That's because I just for some reason that really connected with me in your message, and I can think of like so much of like just looking back on my life, just like a quick. I'm not talking about like a detailed memoir here. I'm just saying like a quick look back, man. Like the worst times of my life, the most challenging times of my life. When you have like something bad happen, if you have grief or if you're depressed or if you're whatever negative thing you have going on, those negative feelings can take on this huge downward inertia. I mean, they accumulate momentum, downward momentum, and just looking back. Just a quick reflection, and I can think of a few really kind of tough times in my life. Those were times when I had really close a community, like of some fellowship, and I believe that even though the fellowship didn't make everything good, it kept that downward momentum. It created a floor for how low that downward momentum could go, and it just kind of stop that from going too low. And so I definitely think the more you can get into fellowship, the better. And it's tough for people because some people, good fellowship, it takes a long time to develop, and going to church once or twice, that's not going to get it done. You need to do more than that. And so there's an investment that is required. There's also skills that are required. You have to have, social skills and you have to learn how to be with people. And, but I will say that, the payoff to that course of investment, I have found has been invaluable. So I guess that is my nugget, is to just invest in fellow believers and seek to kind of build that fellowship, and don't expect it to happen fast, but just continue to go in that direction, and with no expectations, just a dutiful investment in others. And it doesn't have to be with people that you like. It doesn't have to be with, people that you want to be like. It doesn't have to happen with, because we get very idealistic in our heads.
Sure.
we imagine fellowship like, a Coors Light commercial, with all the pretty people and they're having fun, and it's not going to be that. Don't bring those expectations, because that can ruin your pursuit of fellowship. But that's my nugget, is to pursue and invest in fellowship.
That was a great nugget, Dan, and I love even how you ended it, because you think of all, like, okay, dating ourselves here, but you think of like the popular sitcoms, and they're an ensemble, right? Like, it's never just this one person. So, like, I love me some Golden Girls. It was an ensemble. A bit more recent, but still old. Friends, Seinfeld, like, they're
honeymooners, Hey.
But we have like this picture of what it's like, and we're all besties, and sometimes, but not always. And if that's what we're always going for, we could really miss out on some helpful, fruitful relationships that are so vital and so necessary. And I can honestly say, again, snapshot back on my life, it has been the people that God has brought across my path that have really sustained and helped me in times of trouble. So if at all possible, do not stay isolated, because the enemy, he'll come after you there.
Yeah.
So great nugget. My nugget, I'm going to say, I want to hone in on the very beginning of the sermon, which wasn't even a part of the content of the sermon, but it was the quote by Fred Rogers about the helpers. And it is just, I just love it. I just love it. I will literally go back and watch. He has, like, I guess, a social media team. Who knew? His estate does. And so they'll post like clips from the show, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air. And I love it. And it's so helpful. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I believe it to be true. And this did come up in the sermon about, we each carry, I believe this. I believe we each carry things within us that when we allow God to tap into that and anoint that, and we allow that to come from us, to be birthed from us, is powerful. It's powerful. And I believe that if we each just allowed the gifts of God within us to be birthed out into the world, oh, what a world it would be. And I just truly believe that is pushing back the darkness. And so I think that's part of why the enemy is, a number one accuser. He wants to lie to you, to get you to believe that you're less than, to get you to think that you've got nothing to offer, that you're not special, and all the things. And I just think it's a load. It's a load. And not a good load. So I just want to encourage you. And look, it's going to look different depending on who you are, depending on how you're wired, depending on your life circumstances, depending on, your situation. But I would say, you can and are a blessing to those around you. And so allow God to shine through you, because that is a way that we push back against the roaring lion. That is my nugget. What you looking for there, sir?
Well, I was looking at this. This book, Connecting by Larry Crabb.
Yes.
Sort of a classic. Now there's a lot of great things in here, but one of the things he talks about is that, God has we all have these special gifts and powers that God has implanted in us. And kind of like what you're saying is that if you can find a way to release those and to shine that, it can be very powerful. And he just argues that one of the ways that is released is through fellowship, through connection. So that's where our two nuggets kind of come together. It's just,
boom,
it all works out. So
that's right. See, look at that teamwork at play. Yep. It's like Austin Reeves lobbing it to either James, because he's done it to Father and to Son, and slam dunk. Wow. There you go.
That's funny. Like, I haven't even watched a single game, so I'm like so out of it.
Yeah. So. That's okay. I'm here to keep you informed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in today. Happy Muse Day. We appreciate you so much. Hey, if you do have questions, comments, you want to say hi to Dan's little astro buddy, you can send all of that to...
Hold on a second. Let me go grab it.
Get it.
There it is. Yeah, it's right down there.
Oh, okay, good. MuseCast@whchurch.org. Hey, every Tuesday, 4 p.m. on the YouTube, Greg is fervently trying to change our time to 4:30, but it's not. It's 4. It is 4, right. And we will stand on that. 4 p.m.
That's right.
We'll see you there. Have a wonderful week, you guys. Thanks so much.